Back with another episode of our yet to be named video show.
Shameless.
No fancy intros.
None.
Or anything like that.
None whatsoever.
And we don't need any introductions. Anywhere in the civilized
who
world.
we are, probably. Yeah.
Kyle Battis, Mike D. What you don't see is our buddy Ross Mingarelli from Mingarelli Tree Service. He's like directing the whole thing.
Yeah, I took a photo, so you'll be able to see him.
Yeah,
great tree guy if you need tree work done.
Yeah, you need a director's chair, man. Anyway. All right, so like we said, this show's for small business owners, salespeople, entrepreneurs. I think today's topic is a little more on the sales side.
Yeah,
but it's for every
part of any business, important part of any business.
So you can probably glean some strategies.
Yeah,
for selling your stuff.
Great word too.
For selling your shit.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Everybody got to sell their shit.
and maybe there's like a new. This is an old word, paradigm. Maybe there's a new way of selling stuff, and here's why. So laugh track.
Yes.
You know what a laugh track is?
Yeah, like watching a comedy show and all of a sudden and you hear everybody laughing, but it's not real. You get laughing.
So the deal with that was after World War II, right? Television when television media started to explode, right? Mm-hmm. So in the early days, now you can fact check all this, I'm probably off, right? But in the early days of television media, when they were shooting these sitcoms, they were kind of going with the psychological principle that people follow the crowd. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep.
So this dude developed this technology for laughing.
I always wondered like who came up with this. So
and he actually charged like a really modest fee, only like $100 per show.
Okay.
But like all the major sitcoms, like all the shows, like all the big hits, like All in the Family, go to the 70s, the shows in the 80s.
Yep.
And the last one that actually used a laugh track, which I actually lived this kind of life for many years, Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, I love that show. Great
that was one of the last Emmy Award-winning shows that used the laugh track.
Mm-hmm.
So the point of the laugh track was just, it's like fake.
Right.
Like you're getting everybody to laugh.
Right.
So they go along. So this way, you at home will laugh, and the studio will laugh. So it'll make the show better.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you tell me how that relates to sales. I don't
know.
I mean,
so
I'm just talking about laugh tracks. I thought it was interesting.
Like Mike just bringing up irrelevant shit that doesn't matter. No, it does relate. There's this guy, Dr. Cialdini, wrote this book called Influence, the psychology of why we buy things. And
there was some guy that we ran into who was quoting him.
Yeah, Keith from New Hampshire Tap.
Yeah, I think you were going to mention that name, but
it's fine. Giving him a shout out, yeah. But he clearly read the book because like he talked about.
Nobody else read the book.
Exactly. Mike and I were literally the only two people that knew what he was talking about. He talks about commitment, consistency, and
we weren't impressed.
Social
Did
proof.
I say that?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm sorry.
So this concept called social proof that he talks about, we as human beings were hardwired to look for cues of what everybody around us is doing, for cues as to what we should do. So if everybody looks up into the sky when you're out on the street, you're going to look at the sky because it's like
we should try it. It's a nice thing. We should try it.
Exactly. Just go mess with people.
Yeah.
But it's hardwired into us, and so clever salespeople and marketers will use that to their benefit, and apparently like comedy shows will use that. The laugh track, for example, to get you to do what they want you to do. Right?
Now pause. Fast forward to today. In 2015, 2016, none of the Emmy Award-winning comedies. Now, I don't watch a lot of TV. Practical Jokers.
I love that show.
Yeah, but I mean, I binge watched a little bit of Modern Family. And when I first started watching Modern Family, like, where's the laugh track? Like, when are you supposed to laugh? You know, being a kid of the 80s and 90s.
Right.
So, but none of the award-winning comedy sitcoms actually use laugh tracks anymore. But
so
that's
why did they stop using it?
Authenticity. You know? Okay. I mean, we'd probably have to do another episode to find out why they stopped using it. Right. I just think authenticity and things just stopped working.
Right.
But anyway, before we get into sales, one thing you just kind of mentioned was this whole social proof thing. Mm-hmm. We talk about a lot about online reviews.
Sure. Yep.
But so this stuff still works to an extent.
Right.
So like, how would the laugh track be like online reviews?
So online reviews, it's hardwired into all of us right now, where before we go buy something on Amazon, if you're looking for like a local business, you're going to Google their name. Google actually has a name for this. They call it the Google Zero Moment of Truth, where if they see an ad of yours, if they get a referral, like, hey, my buddy Ross is a great tree guy, or Mike does great websites, or Kyle's really good at online advertising. Don't believe the hype. But if you'll go Google it, and you'll find out what are other people saying about this person. And
so laugh track still works to an extent.
Sure.
Because people are looking for shortcuts in their brain to make a decision.
Yeah, exactly. It's about the shortcut.
And we've talked a lot about online reviews. So, so to an extent, this stuff will still work.
Right.
But here's what we're thinking about where the things have changed and it's kind of bullshit where it doesn't work. Like people could spot a laugh track. So when it comes to sales, I've stumbled upon a selling system in the last several years, running my own business and marketing business and online business, where a lot of the selling is just it's really, and that's a problem because a lot of people don't like me. So it's really just, you're just basically putting it out there. And what I realize is that I have to really be clear and put it out there and not hype it, because if I do, like, I'm the one that's going to deal with that bullshit down the road.
Right.
So I have to almost like unsell it.
Right.
In times.
Yeah, I think there's a double-edged sword to hype and like all these psychological tactics, and I see this often, you know, where if you overuse it, people become numb to it and they actually are repelled by it, you know. So I think there's a lot to be said for being authentic and just telling it like it is, and like you said, not hyping things up and over-promising, but almost sometimes make them jump through some hoops.
And if you have a small business where you're actually delivering and you're the point of contact too, maybe you have a small team, I have a small team, you have a small team, you know, but we're still the point of contact.
Right.
So if we overhype something or overpromise something, it's going to come back, and life is just too short for that.
Right.
We'd rather be here drinking beer instead, right?
Yeah.
So than dealing with those problems. So on the sales tip side, maybe you need to rethink your whole way of selling things if it's not working.
Right.
And maybe take a risk into getting rid of the laugh track.
Right.
How does it work as kind of a small business tip, especially in your world where like people are coming to you and they're saying, hey, you know, what about, how am I going to get the phone ring, I'm going to get the online leads and all that kind of stuff, and I hear that as well. And it's easy just to say, well, oh, it'll be instant, or for this cheap price of a couple $100 a month, imagine all these great, you know, you'll get all these 20 leads or 30 leads a month, or whatever the case may be. And if someone hears, I don't know if you've done your business numbers, but if you are telling me like, hey, I'll give you, you know, 20 quality leads for $200 a month, I'm not really going to believe you, because I know leads cost a lot more than that. But there are businesses out there that are naive enough to believe that.
Right.
And what I've run into is, you know, I won't say the name, but like, sounds like Mellow Hages. You know, they deal with this company called Mellow Hages or something like that for $500 or $600 or $1,000. That's not thick anymore.
That's pretty
$1,000. I mean, you can't even, if you're like 14, you can't even use it to drive anymore. Like that's like gone. Like you need to like, I don't even know what you grab. You grab your ebook to drive.
Pretty much.
But you hear like these overhyped promises from the salesperson, and then it's like laugh track.
Right. We were talking about this morning because I have a new client. They've been using Hello Wages. Is that what you call them? Yeah. And they've been running ads for them. And we actually did the analysis, and they aren't doing anything for them. And they're paying way too much money and not getting the leads. So before we do anything, like
you're going to charge them more.
Yeah, we're going to charge them more. But I'm going to actually deliver like real leads.
And you're going to actually underpromise.
Exactly.
You're not even going to hype it like...
Nope, I underpromise, yeah. So we do a market analysis before, so I do like a consultative selling approach where we actually like do the research. Google will tell us how many people are searching a month, how many of those people we realistically can get to click on our ads based on historical data that we've accumulated from hundreds of different clients. And we know how many people will convert on a landing page roughly. And then from that, we can kind of figure out, here's how many leads you could potentially get every month. And they tell me like, hey Kyle, if you can get me in front of 10 people, I'll close 40%, 50%. Right. And I'd like to be conservative with those numbers. Right. And so we give them an actual like, hey, here's what you could potentially get out of this. No hype, no promises, just like some numbers and stuff.
Yeah, so if we're running, say if we're building a website or we're building a landing page and either getting organic traffic or getting ad traffic to it, how do you come up with those numbers? Well, first you can actually see who's searching, and you can do the same thing with Facebook ads too. You can look at the total pool of suspects in the area that fit that certain target, and you can gather that X amount of clicks will come in for this budget. And then how can you guess how many leads can come in? Well, you actually look at your website conversion numbers and you look at your landing page conversion numbers, and you say, okay, websites built like this or a landing page built like this, on average will convert X percentage.
Yep.
And that's where you could come up with a number, a very realistic number.
Yep, that's exactly what we do too. So yeah. So, you know, it's not hype. It's not using like, look at all the millions of people and the, you know, how we tripled our business, like stats like that. It's looking at real numbers and figuring out, is that going to work for my business?
Well, I got a story about how I was taken on
Let's
that.
hear it.
So I was
Let's
like
hear it.
19, just started in business in my martial arts school. Where's Ryan to bust my chops about the martial arts school days?
Exactly.
And we were like, all right, we need to figure out how to get people in here. So we looked in the yellow pages, which is the worst thing you can do. This is like 1998.
Oh,
we
revealed the name.
We opened the yellow page. No, I was looking in the yellow pages. I was letting my fingers do the walking. So I looked in the yellow pages. Ross is young, remember that. And like found a marketing agency.
Okay.
And they pitched us on a direct mail campaign. Now I came to love direct mail after I actually figured out how to get it to work on my own after I lost like $5,000 with the marketing agency. But here's how they pitched us though. They pitched us that we were in Philadelphia, right? So it's a very densely populated area, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, so they said there are 60,000 households within your 3-mile radius. Now, when you're 19, you just say, wow, if I get 200 of those 60,000 households,
How can it not work?
how can it not work? You know?
Famous last
But that
words.
was the pitch. The pitch
Yeah.
was there are 60,000. So how
Right.
many business owners do you think are hearing? Like there are
All the time.
X amount of people, you can get your message out
All the
for
time.
this much, and why doesn't that work?
Because you're trying to appeal to everybody, and you're going to appeal to nobody. You know,
Relationship tip.
Exactly, that's a good one. Yeah, for the single men in the room, anybody, anywhere.
3 of us?
Yeah, a relationship.
Oh yeah, bro.
Exactly.
Hey, listen, you are single until
Yeah.
you're actually legally married. That's true.
Fair enough.
Someone
enough.
asked me like, what is your relationship status? It's like, I don't
Dating.
know. I file my taxes as single.
Well, yeah, that's government, like IRS stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
see, I got to change that then.
Exactly.
All right. Sorry.
Anyway, Facebook stuff.
Sorry, Karis.
So to answer the question, why wouldn't like being in front of 60,000? Because they don't care. They're not looking for you. They maybe don't have kids. You know, maybe they don't have kids the age that like fit into your karate school. Maybe they don't have any money. Maybe, you know, there's a lot of reasons. So I think good advertising is about excluding as many of the wrong people.
Not everybody has to laugh.
Nope. Not everybody has to laugh.
See how
Bringing
we
it back
just
to the
tied
laugh
that in?
track. Those were impressive. But that's what it's about. You got to exclude the people that don't fit your thing, and just get in front of the people that have kids that, you know, maybe haven't shown interest in martial arts.
Maybe they're a homeowner for the paving company.
Exactly.
Does your driveway have dirt on it? Like, you know, whatever,
Yeah.
right?
I was at a networking thing the other day, and she said she sold like skincare stuff. She said anybody that has skin on their face, and part of my brain is like, no, like that's not true.
Right.
Just because they have skin on their face doesn't mean, because there's plenty of people that have skin on their face.
I think everybody has skin on their face.
I freaking hope so. If you don't, then you probably should get that looked at. That's a problem. But I'm like, no, that's not everybody, because
Yeah.
you know, you're not buying, if you're not buying that stuff, like I would go to probably women. I probably wouldn't go to as many men. I'd probably target women. I'd target women who recently bought skincare stuff because they've actually shown that they're into it, you know, so it's different. It's not everybody.
Yeah, not everybody has to laugh.
So anyway, bunch of tangents here.
Which I'm sure nobody really laughed at anything. We need to laugh track.
Ross did. I saw him smirking.
We gotta
Bringing the laugh track back.
All right, so we should wrap it up on that. Kyle, New Hampshire Strategic Marketing, Mike D, cyberspacehereplace.com. Ross Mingarelli, the sponsor.
What's the best way to get in contact with you guys?
Oh, Ross says, what's the best way to get in? Well, they can comment below if this is on Facebook.
You can comment below the Facebook video or click on one of the links. Come visit our sites and talk to us there. Yeah. And if you visit our site, full disclosure, I'm going to advertise to you and I'm going to follow you around all over the dang internet.
He's going to stalk you.
You'll never get rid of me.
Doesn't matter what your status is, he's going to stalk you.
It's true. Totally true. Full disclosure. All right. Thanks for watching.
All right, guys. See ya.